Here's the new Hitec X4 AC Pro. I'm going to be doing a quick unboxing. Now there's a couple other videos out there, but I do want to talk about the Hitec charger versus the SkyRC brand. So I'll go into that in just a second, but let's get this unboxed and take a look. So before I tear into this, I do want to go over the reason I bought this charger. I had a Duratrax 260 charger, and it was a dual output charger, so I could charge two LiPos or two different batteries at once. It was really cool. However, I've got a couple RC cars now, and I was just having trouble keeping up with battery charging. So I decided rather than get another charger, another dual charger, I would go straight for one that can charge 4 batteries at once. So let's open this up and see what we got in here. All right. So we've got the Hitec battery charger. Now, at first glance, this thing is huge. I'm not really too upset about it because I knew that the charger was larger coming into this. It's got to power 4 batteries, so I mean, it definitely does have to have some size to it. But this is not a tiny charger by any means. However, with that said, it's still rather compact. I mean, it's definitely bigger, but if we're running 2, 4, 8, 10 batteries, whatever in your bag, those are already taking up quite a bit of room, so this isn't going to add too much to that. And it's really cool standout red color. Big fan of red stuff, so I like the color on there. So Hitec, really happy with the way this looks. Now, I did want to go over, before we go into anything else, why I chose the Hitec over the SkyRC Q200. So the Q200 charger is darn near identical to this. It's actually a different color, but operation, charging, specs, all of that are identical to the Hitec version. So I was looking at that originally, and then I found the Hitec one. All the photos online showed the picture, the box basically, but I couldn't tell if the charger screen was color or not. And after further digging, it turns out it is, and the two are identical basically. But the SkyRC brand is marketed elsewhere in the world. So the reason I went with the Hitec charger is because if anything goes wrong with this, I'm located here in the US, if anything goes wrong with this, I don't have to worry about it. With the Q200 charger, if something goes wrong with that charger, you have to send it to who knows where, and warranties aren't valid everywhere. But with the Hitec one, they're actually like half-hour drive from me, so I would probably end up shipping it to them, just save myself some time. But that's the main reason I went with this. The only disappointing thing here is the Hitec charger does not come with nearly as many cables and everything as the SkyRC Q200. So with this one, we've got the power adapter, so if I'm going to run it off a car battery, I've got that. I've got 2 balance boards in here. And then what's nice is Hitec has these little clamps that hold the banana plugs together, and so I've never run into an issue where like the batteries are shorting out or something, but I could see why that could cause issue for some people when they're plugging them in. But this does help keep it a little bit neater and nicer, having just that plug on here, so that way when you are plugging in on the battery charger, you don't have to be trying to do 2 at once. Or shorting them out or whatever, or plug in one and the other. So this keeps it nice and tidy and together. So in the box here, I've got a Dean's connector on one of these. So that's one. See, looks like the XT60 power plug on the other. Now for me, I personally run Dean's power connectors on all of my stuff, so I'm going to be switching all of these over. Then you've got one for battery pack. If you run your, rechargeable pack for your receiver, that kind of thing. I don't. I run all electric cars, so I don't need to worry about that. But then you also get 2 more just blank ones, so they're ready basically for me to put whatever connector on here that I want. So I'm going to be running Dean's connectors on here. So I've now got the charger hooked up. I am hooked into AC power, but the 12-volt power plug is back here if I was going to be charging out in the field, that kind of thing. So I'm going to flip the switch on, and let's see what happens here. Excellent. A warning about not starting fires in your house. hit enter, and then we get the simple layout here. So it's not a touchscreen, which I might have to get used to because my other charger was, so I'm probably be touching it here for a while. But otherwise, it's really simple. You've got the 5 buttons here. First one just changes through the different outputs. So your A output is over here. Your B output is on this side. And then C and D are right here. So I do like that they're not all on one side. I know the Venom charger, there you have a quad charger, and all 4 outputs are on the front, and it is super crowded. And when you're trying to power wires and plugs and everything, it's super convoluted and crazy. So I really do like the fact that this splits up the power, ports and plugs on different sides of the charger. So once you're looking at the menu here, pretty easy to toggle between all of them. So it seems pretty simple. You get to choose basically what type of battery you're using, and then yeah, super straightforward and simple. I plugged this in about half an hour ago and just started clicking around on buttons and figuring out what stuff does. It's a super easy charger to use. So I'm definitely going to be using this a lot. 1, because I've got a lot of trucks and everything, but 2, because I like having a charger that's pretty simple. Because sometimes you end up with chargers that are so complicated and the menus are so impossible to figure out, and there's 2 buttons that control everything, and that's just a pain in the butt. So basically with this, you just go through and you change each setting one at a time. You hit enter and it goes over to the next one. Now there's plenty of other videos out there that talk about how to do all of this. So super easy to use, and looking forward to charging batteries and really kind of putting this thing through its paces.